When you're improvising or playing melodic lines, there are techniques you can use with your fretting hand to make your melodic lines sound more musical, more interesting, and give them some depth. These are in addition to the techniques you use with your picking hand. And I'm talking about dynamics, timbre, and the envelope of the note. When you put these things together, you can get some really cool sounds. So what we're talking about specifically are hammer-ons and pull-offs, slides, and muting, which is a combination of your left and right hand, or in this case, your fretting hand and your picking hand techniques. So let's take a look at hammer-ons first. I'm going to go to the 6th mode of C major. So that means I'm going to start on an A. That's the 6th note, and I'm going to play that mode across. There's your pentatonic that you knew. I'm going to go to the 4th string of that 6th mode, and I'm going to take a look at the 2 notes there. When you want to hammer on, what you do is you push down on the lower note that you'd fret on your string. So in this case, that's your 5th fret on the 4th string with your 1st finger. So I'm going to play that note. And then I'm going to use my 3rd finger like a hammer and hammer it down to the fretboard while the original note is still ringing. I'm going to try to hit right in the center of the fingertip, right by the fret, so that it gives me like the best sound. That's called a hammer-on because you're literally using your higher finger to hammer on the note that's ringing. So you can practice this first with fingers 1 and 3 because they're the strongest. And then try some other fingerings in the pattern. You'll hear this a lot, like this kind of thing. That just gives it a little more connection instead of picking every note. That's your hammer-on. So I would suggest practicing it in one pattern, one spot at first, nice and slow. The opposite of a hammer-on is a pull-off. So if you went back to our string 4 and put both fingers from that pattern down, both 3 and 1, and you hold on to those, I'm going to play the string, and then I'm going to pull my 3rd finger off the string to create the 2nd note. It sounds like this. If you look, it's not so much that I'm pulling off, like pulling up into the sky, I'm pulling down across the fretboard. So you can kind of see that my 3rd finger almost hits the next string up, the 3rd string. If you pull off literally, if you pull up, you get a cool sound, but it's not that strong. That 2nd one was pulling down. So pulling off really means pulling down. Again, you're going to practice it with every group of fingers, and it's a nice way to practice in your patterns. So you want to just take it easy when you're using weaker fingers. Go nice and slow and be patient with yourself as you pull off. Sliding is another cool sound. You can also go back to our original string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my 3rd finger now on the 5th fret note of the 4th string with the idea that I'll play the string, keep the pressure down, and slide my finger up to the fret 7 in the pattern. And then the speed at which you slide, like how long you let the original note last, gives you a different sound. So you could go right away. I really almost didn't let it ring at all. I just played and right away I started to move with the pressure down, or I could let it ring longer like I did the first time. Either way, you'll hear in some riffs, like one of the ones we played earlier in the course. That's kind of a common one where the guitar player would just slide right away. As opposed to hearing. You can slide with any finger, but commonly we slide with the third finger because then it kind of sets your hand up in a strong position. So you can practice doing that in all of your modal patterns. The last one is muting. So people often call it palm muting because there's an aspect of your picking technique that goes into this where you literally put the side of your palm down on the strings. Classical guitarists call it pizzicato. And you get, instead of, say, an open string sound like this, you get a muted sound like this. So if you combine that with the left-hand technique of picking up your fingers right after you hear the note, you get this kind of sound. That can be a really cool technique to add into your playing. So that one mixes two things together. It mixes something with your fretting hand and with your picking hand. So practice these things. Again, practice them slowly. Find a small area that feels manageable to you and just see how many different sounds you can get. Combine this with the idea of timbre, dynamics, and envelope from our previous work, and you'll have a lot of tools to work with in getting a great sound that sounds like you.